unwavering dedication to transparency, public accountability, and to disseminate accurate information regarding our efforts to enhance Nigeria's security situation and preserve our territorial integrity. In an era marked by dynamic security challenges, troops have shown resilience and unwavering effort and successes across the diverse operational theaters. Throughout February, that is this month, the Armed Forces intensified its multi-domain operations, leveraging advanced intelligence, interagency cooperation, and community partnerships to dismantle threats posed by terrorists, kidnappers, and economic saboteurs. By integrating kinetic strikes with non-kinetic initiatives, such as humanitarian aid, infrastructure support, and dialogue with local leaders, we are building resilient communities which are capable of withstanding adversarial influences. As we delve into the specifics, I assure you that every action that we take will adhere strictly to international humanitarian standards, rules of engagement, and a profound respect for human rights in line with global best practices. The Armed Forces of Nigeria's personnel discipline remains paramount, and we continue to invest in training and oversight to uphold these principles. Now, let me examine the key developments in each theater of operation, starting with operational activities from the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai. In the Northeast, troops of Operation Hadinkai sustained their kinetic campaign against Boko Haram, the Islamic State West Africa province, subsequently known as ISWAP, and the Jama'atu Ali Sunnah leader Awati Wal Jihad, subsequently known as Jazz factions, effectively curtailing their mobility and logistical capabilities through joint efforts with hybrid forces, that is, the Civilian Joint Task Force and local hunters. Our ground operations were bolstered by aerial reconnaissance, which targeted insurgent strongholds in remote and border regions. This month, we neutralized calls of terrorists, arrested 85 suspects, facilitated the surrender of 46 insurgents and their families, and rescued 104 kidnapped victims. Significant recoveries of arms, ammunition, and equipment have further eroded terrorist networks, enabling the safe return of displaced persons and revitalizing local economies. A pivotal engagement occurred on the 20th of February, 2026 in Kukawa local government area of Borno State, where troops repelled an assault by terrorists equipped with gun trucks, motorcycles, and 5 drones. The ensuing firefight resulted in the neutralization of multiple adversaries and the seizure of weapons, underscoring our offensive posture. Furthermore, on the 23rd of this month, troops intercepted a Toyota pickup laden with vehicle spares and fabrics destined for Boko Haram elements, alongside a truck carrying 460 bags of fertilizers in Badi local government area of Yobe State. What is the significance of fertilizers? Fertilizers, as you know, is one of the key components for making IED bombs. So it is important for us to have a control of fertilizers in the Northeast so that they will not fall into the hands of the enemy. Similarly, 42 illegal miners were also apprehended in Gulani local government area of Yobe State, thereby disrupting illegal activities that fund and sustain the insurgency. To enhance community resilience and prevent terrorist resurgence, Operation Hadinkai intensified offensive operations across areas like Abadam, Bama, and Damboa local government areas of Borno State, as well as Damaturu and Gaidam local government areas of Yobe State. The firefight near Sabsawa village in Borno State on the 21st of this month also saw troops respond with overwhelming firepower to a terrorist incursion, neutralizing several insurgents and forcing the remainder to flee in disarray. These offensives have maintained pressure on the Boko Haram, ISWAP, and JAS elements, denying them safe havens and disrupting their operational cycles. Follow-on exploitation operations across the sectors have further degraded terrorist capabilities through the recovery of arms, ammunition, logistics items, and equipment. In expanding our offensives, troops also executed precision strikes and night ambushes along known infiltration routes, including those from the Cameroon axis, effectively strangling terrorist logistics networks and launch areas. Coordinated air-to-land operations in areas like Limankara, Kukawa, areas of Borno State, and Lamusheri in Yobe State have neutralized dozens of ISWAP fighters, repelled drone-assisted assaults, and destroyed key terrorist camps and supply hubs. By combining decisive offensive strikes with targeted intelligence gathering from the communities, Operation Hardin Kai has systematically dismantled entrenched terrorist networks, paving the way for voluntary return of displaced persons and post-conflict reconstruction. Next is the Joint Task Force Northwest, Operation Fansanyama. Operation Fansanyama in the Northwest has been instrumental in countering terrorism across Kaduna, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara states. By fusing ground maneuvers with air interdiction and real-time intelligence, troops, operational superiority, neutralizing several terrorists, arresting 36 suspects, and rescuing 251 hostages. The highlight of troops' activities was on the 21st, when troops rescued 21 victims from Gidan Sarkin Bayero in Musawa local government area of Katsina State, who were abducted on the 19th of this month, and they were safely handed over to authorities in Katsina State. Interception of arms and ammunition caches from gun runners across the theater have severely hampered criminal logistics, reducing the frequency of ambushes and raids. These efforts have also encouraged community dialogues, leading to voluntary disarmament in some areas and bolstering local vigilance networks in others. Building on these kinetic successes, the operation has introduced agriculture security patrols to protect farmlands and headers, mitigating conflicts that terrorists often exploit. These proactive measures, combined with infrastructure repairs in bandit-prone zones, is fostering economic revival and deterring youth recruitment into criminal groups, thereby addressing the root causes of insecurity in the region. It is worth mentioning that the recent donation of 25 armored personnel carriers to Operation Fansanyama by the Zamfara state government has also bolstered the operation's kinetics and response capability. Next is Joint Task Force North Central, Operation Savannah Shield. If you recall, Operation Savannah Shield was just inaugurated in the last few weeks. The operation has extended their presence in Kwara and Niger states, targeting terrorist hideouts in forested and border terrains. Intelligence-driven offensives has been able to neutralize cause of terrorists, rescued several hostages, and recovered substantial arms, during a fierce engagement on the 18th of the month along the Kainji-Kwimo Road in Magama local government area of Niger State. The operation has focused on rapid response capabilities and community intelligence, which has curtailed ambushes and abductions in the area. This has created a safer corridor for commerce and travel. All the same, non-kinetic engagements such as stakeholder forums have further strengthened ties with locals, promoting peace accords and early warning systems. To sustain these gains, Operation Savannah Shield has launched fighting patrols into forested areas in collaboration with the state government, focusing on areas used as criminal sanctuaries. In other words, the operations are focusing on those areas. Based on our intelligence assessment, we have been able to identify the areas where the terrorists were formerly taking sanctuary, and the Operation Savannah Shield's emphasis is on ensuring that we target those areas for destruction. This not only enhances security, but also puts pressure on the terrorists to find sanctuary out of that area. We want to drive them out of that area as much as possible, which is going to contribute to improving the security situation in the area. Let us now look at the Joint Task Force North Central, Operation Enduring Peace in Plateau State, and Operation Wellstroke in Benue State. In Plateau State, Operation Enduring Peace has effectively addressed terrorism, kidnapping, and ethno-religious tensions through robust responses to distress calls. Troops have neutralized several terrorists, arrested 29 criminals, and rescued 22 hostages and recovered arms in multiple raids, demonstrating seamless coordination with the air component and other security agencies. Notably, swift interventions in Babuje and Razad villages of Barkin Ladi local government area, and Jol and Dantanko communities of Riyom and Basa local government areas of Plateau State have quelled farmers and herder clashes, restoring calm via dominance patrols and enforcement of law and order. Enhancing these efforts, Operation Enduring Peace has implemented youth empowerment programs, including vocational training in agriculture and conflict resolution to prevent radicalization and build harmony. These initiatives have been pivotal in transforming the conflict zones into areas of incremental, peaceful coexistence. We are not saying that the issue has been resolved totally. However, great progress has been made, and I think that is what we should take away from our operations for February. Now to Operation Wellstroke, which covers Benue, Taraba, Nasarawa, and parts of Kogi State. It has tackled farmer herders disputes, banditry and kidnappings with offensive raids and patrols. Successes include neutralizing terrorists, arresting 49 suspects, rescuing 32 hostages, and recovering of arms. The arrest of a key terrorist on the 21st in Sarkin Kudu, Ibi local government area of Taraba State, yielded the recovery of arms, magazines, ammunition, and 2,440,000 naira only, while a wanted logistics supplier was apprehended on the 23rd of February in Tajimi, in Lokoja local government area of Kogi State. These disruptions have impacted criminal finances and encourage criminals to surrender to the security forces. Complementing our kinetic activities, Operation Wellstroke facilitated inter-community dialogue and market security enhancements, boosting trade and reducing economic vulnerabilities that often fuel crime. We all know that most of this crime is actually related to issues of economic vulnerabilities. So the operation feels that by complementing the government efforts, it could probably reduce the crime rate in its area of operation. Now to Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe. In the South-South Operation, Delta Safe has ramped up anti-oil theft measures, arrested 59 criminals, rescued hostages, recovered 144,050 liters of crude oil, and 31,601 liters of automated gas oil, and destroyed 32 illegal refining sites. Working together, the maritime and land components, as well as other security agencies, dismantled crude petroleum processing equipment, thus safeguarding our national assets. Following the arrest of 2 suspected gun runners on the 21st in Ugep in Yakuru local government area and Adim in Biase local government area of Cross River State, troops in close collaboration with the Department of State Services conducted a targeted raid on the 25th at a suspect's residence. The operation yielded significant recoveries, including 1 locally fabricated pistol components, specialized fabricating tools, and a substantial cache of assorted ammunition. In a related development, during the same intelligence-driven operation, troops arrested 1 person at his residence, recovering 3 additional locally made pistols, 1 semi-automatic fabricated pistol, 1 rifle bayonet, and 1 rifle barrel. All the suspects and recovered items are currently in custody for further investigation and appropriate legal action. To bolster the sustainability of our operations, the operation has partnered with environmental agencies for oil spill cleanups and community education on legal livelihoods. This is to reduce reliance on illicit activities and promote ecological and economic health in the Niger Delta. Now to the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka. Operation Udoka in the Southeast intensified actions against dissident groups like the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, subsequently to be known as IPOB and ESN, across Abia, Anambra, Cross River, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states. Some successes recorded during the month were the arrest of 54 terrorists and other criminal elements and rescue of kidnapped hostages. A key focus of recent activities include troops clearance operations to an identified building observed to be an IPOB and ESN logistics hub. On sighting troops' approach, terrorists opened fire but were repelled by troops' superior firepower, which forced them to withdraw into a valley. Battle damage assessment subsequently carried out revealed that scores of terrorists were neutralized, while some were severely wounded in action. The operation is also combining military actions with non-kinetic measures, such as community engagement, medical outreaches, and conflict resolution initiatives. These coordinated offensives targeted terrorist hideouts, disrupting criminal networks, and preventing attacks on civilians and security forces, contributing to a notable decline in violent incidents and improved public confidence in affected communities. In conclusion, the armed forces of Nigerian troops across all the theaters maintained aggressive, intelligence-led and coordinated land, air, and maritime operations, relentlessly confronting terrorists, armed bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal elements that threaten national peace and stability. These sustained efforts have delivered significant gains, including the neutralization of hostile actors, recovery of substantial caches of arms and ammunition, and successful rescue of kidnapped victims, disruption of illicit networks, and progressive restoration of civil authority in previously disturbed areas. Armed Forces personnel have consistently demonstrated exceptional discipline, professionalism, and strict adherence to the rules of engagement and international humanitarian standards, even in the face of evolving and complex threats. We remain deeply grateful for the continued support and timely cooperation of all Nigerians whose credible intelligence and vigilance has proven indispensable to these operational successes. The Armed Forces will sustain this momentum, consolidate the hard-won gains, and remain resolute in creating a secure environment that enables citizens to live, work, and thrive in peace. The achievements of this month exemplify our steadfast dedication to building a safe and secure Nigeria. As the sacred seasons of Lent and Ramadan commence, the Armed Forces extend heartfelt best wishes to everyone observing these periods of reflection, prayers, and communal harmony. We urge everyone to remain security conscious, report any suspicious activity promptly via our emergency line 193, and collaborate closely with security agencies to ensure peace and incident-free period. On behalf of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Olatubosu Oloyede, and other service chiefs, I convey their profound appreciation to our gallant troops for their immense sacrifices, to our partners across security agencies, and civil society for their invaluable collaboration, to the Nigerian people, and to my friends, the Fourth Estate of the Realm, the press, for their enduring trust and support. Together, united in purpose, we shall prevail. Thank you for your attention.